And welcome back to another episode of the FawrOut Perspective Podcast. I'm Kurt Architect.
It's your boy Y2 times your girl's favorite ex.
That's right, we're back for another episode. Today we have a special guest with us from Charlotte, North Carolina, a beacon of light here, a person of the community, a person that many faces know. A lot of y'all know her. She does a lot. She's very dope. She's in all the creative spaces. She helps push culture forward. She does a lot here in Charlotte, and I'm very excited to have her on today. If you've seen her on social media, you may know her as Peculiar Hippie, but we're going to go ahead and introduce that we have Mariah Scott on today.
Hey,
Mariah.
what's up, girl?
How are you, Mariah?
That was
cool.
A really cool introduction.
You think so? Thank you.
So you did. That was nice.
You know, I think you're a special person here in the Charlotte, in the community, in the space here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate you having on. So
Thank y'all for having me.
absolutely,
Appreciate you for showing up.
absolutely. So how are you today?
I'm good. It's hot outside.
It is hot. It is.
I was outside for 15 minutes and the sweat. That form was not.
Yeah.
That was not of God. Like,
It's gonna be like in the 90s plus, like for the next 7 days.
but I'm good. I'm well. How about y'all?
I'm good. I'm good. Watch the times. How are you, brother?
I've been all right, stuff moving. Always good. Stay busy.
There you go. Not mad at that. All right, so you dive right into it. So, Mariah, first question is, how did you get the name Peculiar Hippie? Where did that come from?
So the peculiar part is kind of like the church background, like growing up, always being told that you're supposed to be, stand out, be stood apart, stick out, or just be your own authentic self. And just growing up in my family, that was always something that I would always get called out on, like you're just different, you're not like anybody. And so the peculiar word has just followed me. And then the hippie part came when I was kind of getting out of high school, going into college, and really getting into music and just studying the 60s and just the different movements that were coming from that time period. And I was just kind of always into it, always like a calm, cool, and collected person, even though being a very excitable person at the same time. So I just tied the two together when Twitter was coming up in like 2010. I was in college and everybody was getting a Twitter. I didn't want to get one, and I finally did, and I just stuck with Peculiar Hippie. It's been my only Twitter name, my only Instagram, my only identity. Like that's what I've had since like 2009.
I like it.
Nice.
Very strong on brand, very far out. What high school did you go to here?
I went to Northwest School of the Arts.
Makes sense.
So
Oh, yeah. Right
I was there in middle and high school.
Makes
so
sense.
Whole thing, yeah.
Now, I think I remember having a conversation before a while ago. Were you born in raised in Charlotte? You weren't born and raised
I was
here?
raised in Charlotte. I was born in Buffalo, New York.
Thought so.
And then I moved here in 1999. So I was raised here. I've been elementary, middle, high school, college, all North Carolina. So
almost like a true Charlottean, not really being born here for real.
Definitely not born but raised. I love Charlotte is home. I'm never like doing that. I just don't have. I don't know if I have a southern or a northern accent. It just is what it is.
I definitely associate you with Charlotte. Don't you got family? Ain't somebody from Griselda your family or something like that?
So like not in, but I think one of my uncles is loosely related on some like either by blood or marriage to like West Side Gun or something like that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation. I was like, wow. I don't know. I'm like, yo, let me see. Well, if you're in the booth, I want to know. I'm trying to prepare for the studio, not just to be in the session.
Yeah,
true.
You ever go back to New York to visit your
I do. I
all
went
the time?
last summer.
Okay.
I went last summer for the first time in a minute, but I want to go back more. But just trying to see family. The family that's still up there. Half my family from Buffalo moved to Charlotte.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And Y2 times, he's also friends with Miles and Evan. Like that's a part of our crew.
I love them.
Yeah. We all went to school together. I hate those guys.
Yeah, he hates them.
Which means that you love them.
Yeah.
Ev had a
Cut that
question
part
for you
out.
too. Nah, he meant what he said, but nah, Ev had a question for you too. I'm gonna ask you later. But
I love Evan so much. Evan and Miles, they're just
good guys, good people. What's your sign, Peculiar Hippie?
Taurus. May 7th.
May 7th, okay.
That's my sun. I'm a Cancer moon and Aries rising. That's my big three.
I'm a Sagittarius rising, Gemini moon, and I'm Aries.
Scorpio, Gemini.
Ooh, shit.
Something else.
Word.
I got 2 out of 3.
Gemini is
it's
a combo.
Yeah, it is a combo.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah. It works on me every day.
Yeah. I told mine's like a while back, and I really looked it up, and he said it made sense. Like Gemini being kind of bipolar, to dual personalities. You don't gotta shake your head so hard.
Right.
And,
my brother and my father and boyfriend are all Gemini.
Yeah,
but they're probably super creative though.
They are.
Maybe hot and cold sometimes. But yeah, then Aries, considered bold, crazy, fiery.
That's my rising.
Yeah, kind of maybe not always think first, kind of jump off the porch.
Just
kinda.
Impulse.
Yeah, and then the rising being Sagittarius. I learned rising is more so like your personality and how you respond to things from your personality. And I know Sagittarius is like free spirited, don't like rules, kind of playful.
Yeah.
But since having you on today, you are a person that I would say is someone of the Charlotte community, the creatives. I was just out of space on Tuesday this past week. The Archive Charlotte, they had Benny Pugh there. He's a record executive, so he has a conference in Charlotte that he started back a couple years ago. He's coming back next year. I forget the conference, but yeah, it was really dope. It was like the who's of Charlotte, so like the Samirs of the world, of course, the woman that owns Archive. So they were talking about the community, Charlotte, the same old things of cliques, culture, blah, 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 blah. But it was a very positive forward conversation. So I just want to ask, how did you get into that space of community and pushing people? Because I have to read this off of what you do. So what we have. So a cultural producer, wellness advocate, tour manager, that's fire. Event logistics, curator, host, and music art enthusiast. So how did you get into that whole space?
You do all this?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Or like,
she's the Jackie of all trades.
yeah. So like, I know you earlier you talked about your family, identifying you as like peculiar and being yourself and not want to be like anyone else. So was there like a calling for you to want to be a part of the space and help push people? Because you always seem very positive when I see you. Like, I didn't even know you that well, but you always would say hey or give me a big hug, just be real nice and welcoming to people. It's like Mariah's really nice. So
I be hugging everybody.
Yeah,
but I think that to make a long story less long, yes, I do think that just the calling or just my pull to people has always been a thing with me from being even a younger person, before I even was all the way aware of what I really wanted to do. I was always a people person. And so I think that in always knowing that and in that being kind of called out by my parents or people that were raising me, it just became something that people could kind of help mentor me while in mold and kind of push me into optimizing off of that and just being able to be, a helpful person. So I always just remember being a person that was attracted to being around people, being around groups, being a person that just, I don't know. I've always been a community person in church, in friendships, and all the things since I can remember. As far as getting into the community space or the music and creative space, when it comes to the arts and music here in the city, I had a friend that was dating somebody that was involved or connected to people who were making music in the community, and they were people that were kind of loosely connected to what Samir and the Namus, Sam and Mike Namus and that crowd in the AMCS Bodega, the Alex K. Grays, they were all in a space where they were creating or helping kind of introduce or expose new age Charlotte scene. That was the first introduction to the scene, some of the first introductions to the scene that I knew about outside of Makeda, which was one of the first artists, singer-songwriters that I ever heard in the city. So just kind of like divine appointment, being in spaces or having a friend or being connected to somebody, like one degree of separation into another space of other creatives, is how I kind of got into it, and I just began to organically make friends because I'm a people person.
Yeah.
So once I got introduced to the scene, or that there was creatives or music and things of that nature outside of my own network of friends and creatives from Northwest School of the Arts, it just was like a domino effect, hearing about what they had going on, pulling up to it, telling other people about it. Promoting it. Nobody was asking me to promote it. Like, just
very organic.
Just organically.
Yeah.
It was just something. It was like being a real fan. I started into this as a fan. So I think that's the longest shortest answer I can give is organically starting as a fan, having a friend to introduce me to a friend, and making friends, and my network began from that.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So you seem to be very passionate about the things that you do. And just for the people that's lost out there, what really started you? How did you know that, oh, this is what I want to do? Like, because you do a lot of things.
Going to my first concert is probably one of the ways where I really knew that this is what I wanted.
What was your first concert?
So technically, it's two answers. My first ever concert that I pulled up to was a foreign exchange concert with Fonte and Ninth Wonder and all of them, because Little Brother and Ninth Wonder did a lot of things in the Durham area. And my brother went to North Carolina Central and was working with other musicians out there. And he invited me to a concert to come with him to see foreign exchange. And that was like my first introduction, because I was backstage. I was just helping, treating me like a techie. So I was just acting like I was in the crew. I was definitely not. Right. So I feel like seeing how shows worked from the backstage perspective just blew my mind. And then I went to an A$AP Rocky concert with Miles. And that's
shout out Miles.
Concert buddy and all of my friends. So that
makes sense.
Those two were like the things that kind of was like, yeah, I want to do that.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Very, very dope. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm connecting things as you talk about. Like, that makes sense how she's where she is now. But I was mentioning earlier how I went to the Archive Charlotte. They had an event there. Educated Hoodlums, I believe. Started about Rika. She went to my school, Johnson C. Smith. And HBCU Pride Nation, Travis, he was there. They curated the event. Very dope, very cool. A lot of new Charlotte as well. A lot of passionate conversations in there. Blue, I believe he's been around for a long time. Yeah, he was there. So, they talk about cliques and collaborative efforts. They did mention Jason Jett. We're at Grindhouse Studios now. Shout out to him. They were talking about getting away from kind of beating the same old drum about people being cliquish and doing their own things, but then they say you have to build the community, you have to build it, and they mentioned him as like a person building the spaces. So I don't want to really harp on the negatives that people already say about Charlotte. After I left there, I kind of told myself, like, if I want to be someone to make my splash here, I'm not going to speak about the negatives. It's like, okay, what action am I taking to help contribute? So I just want to ask, what do you think about the space we're in today? Because there are a lot of incredibly dope people right here in Charlotte. Like Blue was saying, you go to some festival or a poetry slam or somewhere outside of Charlotte. I was talking about poetry. He's saying, like, I know somebody at the crib that could do way better than that, or somebody can do this, that, and the third. So how do you feel about the space that we're in currently now? Because it feels like we're at like a renaissance in Charlotte, I think.
We are. And in my opinion, I feel like we've been in a renaissance for a long time. I think that it's twofold. I think that us as a community kind of coming into the realization and the awareness of how rich of a community we have here. And then also from on the outside, because now 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, 2012, we was talking about how we wanted Charlotte to be mentioned in the same way as New York, Texas, and all those things. That was a dream of ours collectively that we were always speaking out. If we really think about it, we should have, I am a optimist and a realist at the same time, because the struggles and the things that we complain about collectively aren't things that I'm oblivious of, but they're not things that are something that other regions aren't going through. The same things that people are saying about cliques and stuff like that, they say it in Atlanta, they say it in parts of New York, they say it in parts of Texas, they say it in silos. Like, there's going to be something to call out where there's room for improvement, right? But there's also a lot of things that we have improved on. And one of the things that we can say now, as 10 plus years later, we have made that goal. Charlotte is beginning to get mentioned as the New Yorks, as the everybody's moving here. Everybody's like, we have
too many of y'all moving here for real.
Well, because we could talk about it. Stop coming here. Just admire us.
Yeah, exactly.
That traffic is ugly. It's ugly.
But you know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but keep going.
Okay. It's a conversation, and I work on that. Which is
people
fine.
person.
Yeah, so it's just like we have made progression, but at the same time, there are things that we can improve on. So I feel that as a scene, we have so much stuff where there's something for everybody. And everything don't have to be for you. You just have to find what fits for you.
Right.
And I don't have to go to every single thing, just like you don't have to go to every single thing, but we can respect it.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff that I know that's going on, and it might not be my cup of tea, but I respect it. I'm not trying to. Can we curse on here?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not my type of shit, but I like it. I respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I'm a promoter, or I'm a tell somebody about it, but like, you might not catch me there, but I'll keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I think people have this entitlement where they want you to, like, I want you to fuck with it, or I want you to say that my shit is like, no, you just need to do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
Real.
And I respect it. It's so much shit going on in Charlotte now where it's like, we just need to focus on continuing to optimize on this moment of getting our shit up and out. We need to focus our frustrations instead of the clicks, forcing the city and these governments to give us more funding so that we can have more spaces.
That's what we're talking about.
We need to get mad at some other shit.
Yeah, they was talking about the gatekeepers. Davita was there at Dublin SWAT, so you know.
And Davita is she deserves she deserves to share her frustration, and she has earned her right to share her frustration, and also like she continues to be one of the many grounding staples and pieces of foundation about the city of Charlotte. So
I agree.
Shout out to Davita.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, like creatives or artists, or like a lot of people did their first shows or events there.
I did my first.
Yeah, even me and Wad being a part of is a collaborative event, but it was the Black Vibrations podcast started by G. Rest in peace to G.
Rest in peace,
She
G,
passed away
man.
last year. But that was one of the first times I like broke bread with somebody like under that roof of Dublin SWAT for an event. I think it's an anime event that we did with them.
Yeah, Anime
But
Social.
They embody what the essence of what you're talking about with that question is it's really just your job to be community.
I agree. Yeah.
All of the who's and the what's and the getting into the semantics, none of that matters. You just need to be community. If you want respect on your name, which I understand is where certain aspects of what the conversation around Dublin SWAT was coming from, because things deserve to be acknowledged.
I agree.
But as far as other things, as far as the comparison and whatever, like, we here to do work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about the work. And
Yeah.
I feel like as far as that, Charlotte is so wealthy.
Yeah.
In so many communities for so many people in the creative art music space.
I definitely think that people are here to help amplify that. I think it's just things that may be out of our control. Like, I feel like the government of Charlotte, like, they are just for profit. Like, a lot of cities are for profit. You want to build and grow a city. But I feel like Charlotte's identity, like me and Evan talked about this a while ago, it just always wants to be this world-class city. So it kind of ignores maybe the arts, entertainment, and, you know.
And it's just getting lost. It's
joke
getting
about
lost
breweries.
it's getting lost in other people's industries where we just need to focus on.
Yeah.
Even if we want to identify ourselves as being unidentifiable, we could just do that.
Right.
We don't have to be a second, the next New York, the next Atlanta, the next. We don't have to be the next anything. We can just be what we are.
I think we just got to own it too.
We can own it.
Yeah.
I feel like we just stuck in that space of trying to be identified. And we don't really have to be identified.
It's Charlotte. It is truly FawrOut. It's literally like its own. It's like it's a melting pot. Like how people always talk about New York back in the days being a melting pot. Yeah. Charlotte truly is, because I can meet someone today, say I'm from Charlotte, but someone mentions Cleveland or Pittsburgh or even Toronto. I'm like, oh, my hometown is Erie, PA. Like, I grew up this close or that. But I've been here since high school, or 8th grade, so I claim Charlotte. Yeah. But I think that's the beauty of it, just owning where you at. Like, it's not where you from, it's where you at. That old saying. Yeah. So yeah. I mentioned earlier, Evan, our friend Evan, had a question for you.
I love you, Evan.
Yeah.
You're the best.
That nigga, all right. But,
yeah, for real. I'm happy somebody said it. Yeah.
So I did tell him, said, "Hey, Mariah on. What's one question you would ask her on the pod?" He said, I thought you kind of already answered this. What makes Charlotte unique as an art space?
I think what makes Charlotte unique as an art space is, I think it's that. It's the fact that we have so many identities that we don't have to have a specific identity. And if we could embrace the fact that we are a blank canvas and that's our thing, I think that would make us kind of much more, we could just drive that to be the shell of how you kind of describe what we have going on. You just have to figure it out. You just have to listen, and you fuck with it. But I feel like what makes Charlotte so unique in the art space Yeah, it's that. It's just the fact that we're just so broad in the very different sounds, the very different visuals, from our. Yeah, because art and music and writing and all of that, all of it is artistic, all of it is creative, and all of it requires different levels of, your output. And I feel that Charlotte is just it's just so, the way I look at Charlotte in the music and the art space is just like beautiful. It's just undefinable. It really is. Yeah. I really feel like it's undefinable. It's just rich. You can only use adjectives to describe how amazing it is, but you can't really pinpoint like, oh, it's grunge, or it's everything. It's country as hell. It's real. It's nurturing. It's painful, especially when you think about the art space, when we talk about our pain, it's everything. It's transparent. It's challenging. It's all over the place. And it's too many. When you think about the South, I think that's why you can't really identify a specific sound with Charlotte, because when you think about historically and culturally how our roots even run, you think about that. Like, we got people from New York, but they got ancestors from South Carolina. They got ancestors from. So it's just so much. Charlotte is so much of a hub that that's what makes the art space so special. Is that those backgrounds are just too broad.
I was gonna say random. My fault. You about to say something?
No, I was gonna say. So I mean, just to play devil's advocate, me and Kurt always. Go back and forth. Yeah. All right. But we always go back and forth asking, the Charlotte have culture. Kurt always says something like, yeah, dude, I say no. I've been here. And like you said, it's a blank canvas. It's so much that it can't just be one thing. So, and for me, I'm from here, so I've seen the gentrification. I live like right beside John C. Smith. I see the gentrification. It's white people walking their dogs at 11 at night. Really?
That's ridiculous. Bro.
Yeah, some old black lady. She just got pushed out of. Well, not pushed out, but it was just her. Everybody grew up and left, so she sold her house. That shit sold in 3 weeks. Yeah, I got a new family in there already. But yeah, I always say, for me, I don't really. I see that it's growing. Everybody like, oh, Charlotte's growing, but who is it growing for? That's always been my biggest thing.
That's fair. That's fair as a native, because you've seen so much change, and I think to the negative parts of, the effects of how it's just been so hard to just establish ourselves as a creative community or just as a culture,
right? To
even be able to be defined. One of the cons of why that's so hard to define ourselves, I feel, is because we continue to be uprooted. And that's a structural and political situation that has to do with the region that we're at. Like, when there's no value seen, and there's no value invested, Charlotte's scene has had to reinvent itself a few times. So you're not wrong for seeing it that way. How can I create a culture or take hold to a culture when it continues to be ripped away and wrapped up and thrown in the garbage?
That's fair.
I don't think that you're wrong for that.
Okay.
I think that I think that we in that regard that can be true. But I also just think about so many people in our scene that make me think about like those definitive what Charlotte feels and sounds like. I think about Elevator J's. I think about I think about these entities that help me embrace what Charlotte feels and sounds like, or what culture feels and sounds like as well. So I kind of tend to that when I can't define it. I use people in real examples to help.
Yeah, because you're a lot more in this space than I am.
And that's
I just been an outsider watching. Like, I always look at like, oh, that's Elevator. Oh, that's Mariah. She's always says, hey, I don't really know her that well. She's very nice to me. There's Autumn Rainwater. I remember a few years ago, she dropped a project. I forget the name, but we talk about culture and identity. Yes. She dropped the album cover. It was like these apartments on the east side, and I remember I got invited out, or one of my friends was going out and invited me out to it's like somewhat of a listening party, and it was at those apartments. Yeah. So I really
on the east side?
Yeah, bro.
Hell no.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of kickbacks in that. Yeah, so our homie apartment complex.
So it was such a dope experience, because like I didn't have like core childhood memories here, more so teenage years, but it was so cool to like see the artwork and then to be in the apartments that was the backdrop of it, and then to hear the music, like the theme of the album, it had like the radio skits in there. So it just put me in the mind of a person growing up in Charlotte from the east side.
Definitely through and through.
Yeah, so
raised.
Like a real authentic opinion that could tell you how things was prior to whatever, prior to spaces getting shut down. So I think it's here. We just got to build on it. It's almost like, what are you doing for the city? If you gonna complain, it's like, what are you doing to help contribute? And you have to embrace being from somewhere else, and it's like, it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. That's where I'm at with it. I had one more question from Ev. So he asked, and then we have a segment from Wild Two Times.
Yeah, bro, because let's get off Ev, bro. Let's get off Ev.
He had some really good questions. So Ev's his last question said, how, because he's a creative as well. He's trying to do his thing. So he said, how do creatives maintain the art of their work and not let it just feel like content?
It's really hard now because everybody is so focused on how much you're producing to kind of stay relevant.
Algorithm.
The algorithm. We're fighting a lot of different things. But I do think that the way to focus or maintain your art is to shut out the noise. Because when you do begin to try to adhere to the expectations of the social media world or just the other parts of culture, you can kind of lose your voice and lose your sound, or you can lose yourself in trying to meet somebody else's expectations.
Yeah, trying to keep up.
And I feel that when you shut out the noise, it really helps you kind of reground and reestablish like what your sound, what your voice, what your visual, what it is that you're trying to produce. I feel like that's the best way to stay as authentic to your art as you possibly can, is shutting out the noise of this world, bro. This world is fucked.
It is. Shutting out
the noise. It's too much shit going on. The environment, like it's really hostile right now. Like we're in a place where we're identifying a lot of the fuck shit that's going on, but it's also like reopening wounds. Like I'm thinking about a lot of ways like why it's too hard. The world is just too hard sometimes. So you have to shut that shit off.
That's a fact.
Figure out what you're trying to
That's a fact. There you go, Ed. Don't say I never did not for you. Wow, bro. You want to jump into one of your segments? Are you shaming anything this week, or do you think we got?
Yes, we definitely have something to shame this week. I am starting a petition called the Shame Petition, because we need to bring back shame.
This
people.
is a new segment.
Shame. Okay.
Yes, we need to bring back shame. We don't have to shame everything, but last week, what did we shame?
We shame content creators.
We shame content creators for just silly stuff
like setting up cameras
and getting out of bed. Yeah. What was the other one we shamed? Checking out cameras, getting out of bed, and then I shamed what else? The content creators.
I just remember you shaming the content creator setting up the camera, like showing that they woke up.
Yeah,
and that shit.
Oh, and then I shamed. It was a viral video going around about who got the worst baby daddy, and I'm like, that's embarrassing.
I hate.
That's embarrassing as hell. And I was like, why you talking shit? That's the nigga you pick.
Yeah.
But this week we are shaming what I would like to call BBL to fitness trainer. Okay, that's what we training. Because you get a BBL, that's fine. Get your body fixed, whatever. That's fine. Get your thing done. But don't come out here and saying you got a fitness book coming out. I know what to eat to get in shape. Yeah. Because no, you don't. I went to your IG. You got 4 pictures from this year. You had an IG way before then. I want to see your old pictures. How much weight did you lose? It's your BBL body IG.
This is their new identity. This they new.
Exactly. But that's what I'm shaming, because I don't really care. You get BBL for you or whoever. That's fine. Just do that. But don't say you got it in the gym, because you lying to us. You selling courses. You getting rich off people that's dumb enough to believe you.
Yeah, that is kind of
your
wild.
fault.
I agree. That is wild.
And it's a problem.
That's fair.
Yeah, again, surgery.
And it's a problem. I wish we have BBL Drizzy playing in the background right now. But
that's exactly what I thought about it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm shaming this week. BBL the fitness trainer, because you just lying to the people. You don't know what it takes.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You ain't never did nothing. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Just another finesse story, man. It's another finesse.
Yeah,
story.
just another hustle.
All you gotta do is go to the gym 3-4 times a week, eat right, and save $10,000.
That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
I was with you to the 10. Okay, that's it.
I mean, however much I'm surgeries is?
I mean, it depends on where you go. You can go to the DR, get some good work done for like $800.
Yo, DR for a lot of stuff.
800.
Not 800 is wild. I'm lying.
Yeah, you're going to instantly die as soon as you lay on the operation table. Yeah. Right. Do you have anything you want to shame that going on or anything on your heart? You seem like such a peaceful, nice person, but he just has a lot of anger.
I do.
I'm a peaceful person, but I be talking shit. I'm not going to hold you.
Hey,
come on.
What you want to shame? I know you got any.
No.
Okay.
What do I want to shame?
You don't have
any
it's
current
on the
events,
spot, so it's all good.
Yeah, it is on the spot, but yeah, I just figured out.
I can't think of anything, but I know that it's shit that I just don't like.
Got you.
Yeah,
it's a lot of shit we don't like. Real Chief Keef energy, man.
Yeah, just
Chief Keef.
Anything that's just stupid, I'm not.
For sure, man. Hey, Kurt, you are you shaming anything this week, or you just hopping in?
I don't got nothing to shame.
I
haven't really sat and thought about that. The same things frustrate me, like TikTok, just creators, just people setting up cameras. Like showing what they got, but like setting up the camera to show them putting it in the trunk and showing them parking, and I just think
seem like a lot of work.
It's just like ridiculous, but it makes them money. So also it's like, hey, who am I?
Well, I'm not gonna shame it, but I did see this one TikTok where this lady was talking about how a lot of people in Atlanta get money, and they were saying the 3 ways where obviously scamming, but lawsuits. And when people die and they leave money, but that and courses, because people say they did a course, but they do it for like maybe 2 or 3 months. Yeah, and they be like, I'm just gonna sell it.
Give a master class.
Yeah, and then they give master classes out. But they say that's how a lot of people in Atlanta make that.
And people just be too lazy to look up the research. Because I ain't gonna shout the person out because they're my cousin, but she
shout your cousin out.
No, because this is not, and I love her, but she shouted out. She had like a master class or like online marketing shit she was selling. No, I'm not. But I remember I purchased one to show love. Like, I hope she don't watch this. But I was like, I'm gonna buy it just to show love, So I bought the course. I forget what it was. I think it was for like business shit. So I bought it, and it was literally like a PDF of shit that you can literally find on your own if you just sit down for 5 minutes.
Masterclass.
That's my gripe with that, because it's stuff that I want to.
I love you, cousin.
Like teach, but then I'm like,
no, you don't.
I love you, cousin.
You ain't say the name.
Nah,
I don't want to do it because I'm like, well, if I try to do it or like make it like an incentive, I don't want it to be like something that you could just get from,
Yeah, you want to be more personal to you, something that you actually
I want to figure out a way to
follow through
of my knowledge, but I also think people can get it.
Right. Nah. They can't. If you put it in a certain package, you should be able to sell like that. But if you selling me something that I can type in Chat GPT, I'm gonna fight you.
Right. That's fair.
All right, it's a fact. I don't know if we have enough time for this segment as well, but this is Wild 2 Times, his segments, shame,
and we also got Big Bag Chronicles.
Yeah, Big Bag Chronicles. This is me and him.
This is for this is for everybody. You got a little back, medium back, big back, extra big
wide back, big back, wide back,
long back, double wide back,
double wide. You gotta tell people watch out when you get.
But this segment is basically where we tell stories just about us doing some big back shit. Everybody did big back shit. Little back people, big back people. Everybody been big back some shit before. Okay,
yeah, it's not. You don't physically have to be big back.
You don't have to be big back. I got some big back little friends.
Yeah, it's the spirit.
Yeah. It's in your body. It's in your body. But I'm gonna start with my I'll start with my story. So let's say 2014. I was driving my mom's car. It was a wing place in Charlotte. I can't even remember, but the wings was fire. They were so good that I went in there, got me a 15 piece, just sat in the car, killed it. Killed the 15 piece. All right, that's big bag. But what I told one of my other homeboys, I said, hey, these wings is busting. You should come down here and get you some. And then he pulled up. I'm still in the parking lot. I'm crazy. I'm going crazy. And then as he's going in there, I'm like, hey bro, give me another like 8 pieces, bro. And he like, damn, you just eat some. I say, nigga, don't talk to me like that. All right. And so yeah, that was my big back story. I ate let's count, what's that, 23 wings in one sitting.
Yeah, that is some big back shit. I got one I just thought of on the fly. That is some fat shit to be in the parking lot like, damn, let me go back in there, man. That is some fat shit.
It's a good ass wing spot. I think it's gone now.
Probably is. My big back story, rest in peace, Shane.
R.I.P. Shane.
Shane would have gladly participated in the big back shit. He's a funny guy, talking about weight and stuff like that. But we was roommates together in college at Johnson C. Smith, and I remember Arby's had just premiered a commercial for the brisket. Hey, you want the story or not?
No.
So it was an Arby's. They had just introduced the brisket, bro.
Woo! I remember that year.
Yeah. So we was in the dorm room. We saw that shit. Like, think you seen that shit? So we are watching how amazing this presentation is and all of that. And it was like a Sunday, I think. So we watched the commercial. I instantly get in my Suzuki at the time, that red burgundy truck I had. We went to Little Rock. The Arby's like right by the airport off Little Rock. And we got the brisket, and we was Keith Lee before Keith Lee, man. We saw that shit on the commercial, and we fucking went right immediately. It was good as fuck, but that was one big bag that randomly came to mind. Watching a commercial about a sandwich and literally making the decision right there to get in the car and go try what we just watched.
Was it good?
Yeah, that shit was fantastic, nigga. Yeah, that shit was fucking, yeah. It was, yeah.
Fantastic.
It was, bro. Like seeing the commercial and then instantly deciding.
That shit is hit. That shit do hit though.
Yeah, that's my big backstory. Rest in peace, Shane. That's my big backstory.
Do you have any big back activities?
It can be your friends. Y'all had like a kickback.
You can just tell a story as your friend too, because that's what I'm probably gonna start.
I remember they had a chicken versus at that listening party.
A chicken versus.
Remember versus was popping?
Yeah, I don't know.
They had a chicken versus.
Big back. Why it could be.
Try it out.
Me and my friends just like eating, and during the versus stride, we decided to do a chicken versus for just cause.
Not music.
Not music.
So
just some of the greatest cooks in my friend group at the time
had a chicken off.
Had a chicken.
It was so ghetto, but it was amazing.
And it was in my crib.
It was fried chicken.
Doing Hennessy wings and lemon pepper.
Black people. You know,
black
people. And we kept doing it like over and over again. I feel like we was just finding ways to just, any type of excuse we can go to eat, we just eat.
I remember witnessing one of them.
During the pandemic.
Oh, during the, yeah. It got crazy.
Pandemic when some of us was getting them checks.
Shout out Trump.
Oh, come on.
I went too far, right?
Come on.
Too far?
I didn't know where you were going.
Damn it, wow. You're doing so good, man.
Shit, I was living good. You know what? I'm gonna stop there.
I did. We was good.
A lot of us was doing good. A lot of us was doing good.
Some of us, and when I say we, I'm just collective.
Yeah.
You know, some of us were receiving, for those of us who were receiving checks that was beneficial at the time when
busting them shits down.
Yes.
And so, it was a time when we was having I think for 2 months we just went every Saturday. We was having brunch, and we was going to some of the finest brunch spots that we could find.
The
this is a foodie city too.
Every weekend we was just going. We would wake up and go, and then we go bar hop, eat, bar hop. So we just be looking for excuses to eat.
I'm not mad.
But
at
the chicken
that.
versus is probably my favorite.
The chicken versus is.
I never seen one of them,
It
bro.
was fantastic.
We should host a chicken versus.
I got to witness one of them shits. So
Yeah.
We got to bring it back now that the summer is here. Definitely something that we
Chicken versus.
chicken off.
That was Big Back Chronicles
By your boy.
from the FawrOut Perspective Podcast. And please send in your big back stories.
Oh yeah, I should
because
read some off.
we definitely need them. Would you like to do?
I'll read. Well, one off top.
He's gonna read. I'm talking to him like I'm directing it.
All right.
Gonna give us who is this story from? Can we say their name?
Well, one of them was my frat brother, Ant. Shout out to Ant.
Shout out to Ant, man. That's the homie. We play Madden together.
So Ant, he we was actually a part of this trip together in Greenville, North Carolina. We went to ECU's homecoming some years ago. But his big backstory was being high and leaving one Waffle House parking lot, sitting up and seeing what I thought was another Waffle House and being excited to eat again. So we were leaving out of a Waffle. Damn, I remember. I was a driver in the story, but we was leaving out of a Waffle House. And I just left another direction, and he saw like the same big ass Waffle House in the sky, and he thought it was a new one, and he got very excited. But we just left another way. But the nigga thought we was at a new spot.
Shout out Ant, man. But yeah, please send in your stories. We will read them.
Yeah, one nigga said he's a chef, and he chose a career to be a chef. So that's his big back. To be big back and get paid. So he loves to eat, and he became a chef so he could get paid to eat.
Shout out to the big back chef.
Shout out to the
people I trust.
Shout out to the big back people, the big back community, man. You know what I mean? But also, you know, if you go work out, get to a gym, You should do that too.
Yeah.
So you could have more big back stories.
Work out
Work
the
it off.
Yeah, work it off, earn it back, work it off.
Make the story.
All of that.
But yeah, that's Big Back Chronicles.
Shout out.
Shout out Big Back Chronicles.
Yeah, shout out Wild 2 times for his hilarious segments. But Mariah, Peculiar Hippie, thank you so much for making time for the FawrOut Perspective today and dropping some good game. Really just your experience. This is exactly what I wanted.
I'm glad. I've been
So,
excited to do this.
Yeah, so
thanks for having me.
thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Yes, so we're gonna go ahead and sign off. It's Kurt Architect.
It's your boy Wild 2 times.
It's the FawrOut Perspective. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.